Hey, what's going on, you fine ladies and gentlemen? Nathan here, bringing you yet another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. So this video's topic will concern immortality and my thoughts on death and the like. But before I get into all that, of course we must talk about the gameplay for just a second. This is a fairly average demo man round on actually Badwater, and I know I do post a lot of Badwater gameplay, but that is actually my favorite map, so that's just kind of how it is. And talking about gameplay, which kind of relates to time, let me just talk about my new job for a minute here. So, for any of you who don't know, I recently got a stock person job at a local grocery store, and it's a lot more time consuming than I thought it would be. I basically work 27 hours next week, so what I'm going to do is record a lot of footage and basically make all of my videos for the week on the weekend, and then I'll probably pretty much upload them at night once I get home from work, because I basically work from, well, actually, let's just go over the schedule really quick. So on an average day, it's basically get up at, well, actually, school starts at 8, gets out at 3:05. I usually work from 4 to 9, which obviously leaves very little, if any, time to make video for each day. So, I actually have this weekend off for the most part, so, I'll pretty much make all my videos then, and then throughout the week, I'll pretty much just release them at night when I get home. So there won't be many primetime uploads, as I like to call them, because for any of you who don't know, the time that you actually upload a video is very, very important. If it is published at around 7 o'clock p.m., that is prime time, because everybody, or the stereotypical average American, gets home from work, eats supper, and he's got 2 or 3 hours to kill. So usually they either turn on the TV if they're fully grown adults, but in the case of teenagers, they usually turn on the computer, go on YouTube, or whatever else teenagers do to burn time. So yeah, that's just timing of videos, so most of them will be going up at night from now on, so that's actually better for you European guys, because that means that they'll be uploaded in the morning, I think, for you, or somewhere around there. So yeah, let's talk about the actual video topic, and let's get into it. So I'd like to put a little bit of pretext before what I'm actually going to talk about, and that is that in terms of religion, I'm an atheist. You know, that's just how it is. That's just part of who I am, you know, just my views. So it's not that big of a deal, but basically I think immortality would be a great thing. Now, I know in terms of like a ratio, I think like 60% of people argue that immortality is a bad thing, and then 40% argue that it is a good thing. And the reason I know this is that Merca Durga actually did a video like way back, I think it was at least 2 months ago, basically talking about his views on immortality as well. And I was reading through the comments, and basically it seemed like 60% of people thought that immortality was a bad thing, and that death is a natural process through which everyone should be able to go. If you don't die, then it's just a bad thing. And then the other 40%, or the 40% other than the 60%, said that, you know, it would be awesome to be immortal, and I'm a part of that 40%. Now, here's my logic. So I think if you're immortal, a lot of people, I'm not really sure why they think it's right to die, but I think if you were immortal, you could either have the potential to do really, really good things or really, really bad things. So let's take an example of this. Let's just take an average American, let's just name him Bob, and say that he becomes immortal tomorrow. So if you become immortal, 3 things are going to happen, or have the possibility of happening. First of all is that you're going to remain completely the same, and I have no idea why you would do so. That's just stupid if you just continue living your life as you were, except that you cannot die, so that's just dumb. Or you could become a super criminal, and you could basically, let's say, like, rob a bank, like, big time, where police are there, and let's say they shoot Bob, and he can't die. So he can do a lot of criminal things, although there's still very much a possibility of being put in jail. I mean, just because you can't die doesn't mean that you can't suffer for your crimes, because obviously police will arrest you using force, and then, you know, I'm not really sure how evading capture and staying alive out of all that ties in, but basically you can still be punished if you do big time crimes. Or the third possibility I'm thinking of is that you can do amazing things as time passes. If you are immortal and have infinite time, you literally have all the time in the world to learn everything. You can you can persuade people in subjects where you have super wisdom because you've just been around for so long. If you actually have infinite time and can learn everything, you can help out society almost like an infinite amount. It's just insane. Like, eventually, once you learn everything, you can then turn your knowledge into researching more things, and the potential for good is immense. However, talking about infinite time still, so Mercadurka said in his video that at the point of becoming immortal, your life is worthless, and that's because time when you can still die is finite, which means that it's valuable. If you have infinite time, that means that you're basically worthless because there's so many of it. Just like if you have infinite, let's say infinite beans or something. If you have an infinite supply, they're going to be worth nothing because naturally the more rare something is, the more valuable it is looked upon. So if you are immortal and have infinite time, that means that basically your life has become worthless, but I think that's theoretically, though. I think practically you could do a lot while being immortal, and once again, I don't really understand the concept of people think that you have to die because it's some sort of natural process. I mean, the reason we live, to me, is, I mean, this is really hard to explain, but it's like, I think that death should be avoided at all costs. I would put death as probably the second worst thing that could ever happen to you, and the first being excruciating beyond like imaginable pain. I think it'd be better to basically be dead than in extreme pain. And this all really depends on your religious views, but I just think that, I don't know, people who think death should happen, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I've debated this with friends at least a few times in school, because we all sometimes just think philosophy a lot, and basically, like, one of my friends says that death is a natural process of life, and I would disagree and say that it's not part of life at all. It's not an ending of life, rather it is a separate event all by itself, and I think the definition of that actually means a lot when when determining if death is a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, you just have so much potential to do good with your life, and I always think it's just really sad that one day we all have to die. I mean, that's just an inconceivably sad thought, that no matter what you do with your life, that's just one process that we all go through. And if you've ever thought about that by yourself, like really thought about it, that is a very scary thought. That I mean, I have come to terms with my mortality, but only because I've realized the horrifying fact that someday I am going to not exist anymore, and that is just a terrible thought for me personally, anyway. But I mean, once again, that's part of the reason why I think immortality is such a great thing. First of all, because it has benefits to, or you have the immense potential to benefit society, and also, I don't know, I just think death is pretty much the second worst thing that could ever happen to you. So that's just my thoughts on that philosophical matter, guys. I don't know about anybody else, but I actually think philosophical thoughts, I think, more than the average person. I mean, whenever I have some downtime, you know, it's just something that kind of creeps into the brain, and I think that's what makes me intelligent in sort of a way, that I'm able to think these higher thoughts on a regular basis. And I guess people in my peer group don't really think about that much, but I've thought about it quite a bit, and through thinking about it, you know, I've come to terms with my own mortality, but I still believe that immortality is a fantastic idea, And yeah, that's just my thoughts on the matter, guys. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a rating. Sorry for the poor commentary quality as well. I'm doing most of this in 1 or 2 takes. Currently I have like 5 up here, so yeah, it's just something I wanted to do before going to bed. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a rating, and if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, because I bring Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentaries and such like that. So I'll see you guys later, and peace out.